This is Jaden Max, and I am making it rain, baby! Yay! Woohoo! Actually, I'm right here now in my Guardian farm, and got some diamonds already. That's pretty cool. Especially after people initially were showing some skepticism at my prices. You know, this isn't Walmart. You can think of this more like Sharper Image. I did negotiate some prices with some people, but I don't think this is way out of the ordinary considering the amount of time. 3 months. 3 months of work just getting to this point. And each one of these items, not so much the shards and the crystals, those pretty much flow freely from the Guardian farm. And I have put down a note down here that you can get shards and crystals from the Guardian farm for free if you go over there and AFK long enough to collect them, and then you can craft your own lanterns and bricks and blocks and whatever you want to. But if I'm going to go through the work of gathering these things up, occasionally AFKing there to get them, and then crafting these lanterns bit by bit, one by one, dadgum, I should get some monetary recompense for that. Especially these dark prismarine. I did not realize when I started setting up this shop that dark prismarine was so expensive and time consuming and tedious to produce, and you don't get a whole lot from the monument itself when you take it down. I have to get ink sacs, which I decided to oh, another diamond. Woohoo! I decided to add a little something to the farm in order to gather these ink sacs, because the way the farm is set up, the octopi basically kill themselves on the perimeter of the farm. I just need to devise some sort of rail minecart hopper system to go around and collect those drops. So I'm going to put that in and be able to generate that, and that will make it a lot easier to get this dark prismarine out. But thank you for everybody who's contributed to this effort and paid me handsomely for my work. Thank you, I appreciate it very much. And we'll step right outside so you see what this Guardian shop, which I'm calling Guardian Home Supply, looks. Now, as you can see, it is, like I said, it is a reproduction of Tad's bookstore right there, only with... Shh, quiet down, you. Dadgum, neighbors, noisy neighbors, always. I'll jump up over here. Anyway, like I said, it is a reproduction of Tad's bookstore, only with Guardian bricks and some other changes to make it feel more ocean monument-like. For example, it doesn't use any torches. Instead, it's all sea lanterns lighting the place up. I got the dark oak, which not only works nicely with the green Guardian ocean monument bricks, but it... Yeah! Quiet! You. I don't even think you're supposed to be in there. Whoa, it looks like something's actually gone wrong with this farm. Because I think there's supposed to be water up there, right? Hey, don't whine to me about your problems. I got bigger things to deal with, okay? I just don't have that kind of time. Anyway, the dark oak works well with the green, but it also and the gray of the stone that I decided to use as well. But also, it's going to be dark oak trees are going to be an important part of the nether portal to the Guardian farm. So I decided to put that in here. I also, as you may know from previous projects, I just like the look of that dark oak. It's just really nice looking. So I put that in, though. For me, I often feel like the bark texture for dark oak may need to be switched with the texture for spruce. I don't know. Maybe it's okay, because dark oak wood is this really deep dark brown, but which is a lighter brown than spruce wood. But the bark itself, spruce bark, is actually a tiny bit darker than dark oak bark. If I put this on top, you can kind of see there's more. It's darker, more contrast with the spruce. And a lot of times when I use dark oak as opposed to spruce, it's because I want an extra bit of contrast. So I usually often end up using spruce logs with dark oak wood when I want that kind of look to it. And I will cut that tree down. I actually planted that just mainly to generate saplings, but also to make the wood that I needed for this. Basically, I kind of impromptued a little tree farm here for that. So anyway, that's it. That's my shop. Oh, and you'll also see the water, which originally I was thinking that would make it very Elytra friendly. You could just fly right into the shop. But I ran out of space. I wanted to put I felt like single chests on the floor was not enough to put in the number of items that I wanted to have on sale in there. So I stacked them up, which means only one side, that back side, is actually Elytra friendly, and there's no signage on the outside. So you basically, if you want to fly in by Elytra, you have to go in through the west wall, and then you're fine. You can fly right in. Woohoo! You're comfortable. If you go through any other wall, you're gonna hit a bit of a block. So keep that in mind. Anyway, and I do. This is not done. I do plan to put some more stuff in here to make this look a little more not homely, homey, to make it look a little nicer. Some more decorations in the walls and floors and stuff. It just takes more effort and time to put that in. I will put some stuff up there on the ledge, some potted plants and whatnot in there, just kind of clutter the place up in a nice way. Oh, by the way, look at my horse. I got a horse, went and tamed him. He's over from the Flower Island where I put up the Guardian farm. I plan to breed those horses, but leave them wild. Just create a bunch of little baby horses that will grow up and kind of walk around that island a bit. But I decided to go ahead and take one because ender pearling all over the place here was wreaking havoc on my armor. So I got myself a little horse friend, and he's nice. He just kind of bugs out a little every once in a while. I was taking him through the Nether because I made the Nether tunnel to be horse friendly, but one, this tower here is not very horse friendly. Can't fit through there. But two, I also found out that Nether portals can be buggy with horses. A few times I've gone in. That's a pretty big portal, and the portal on the other side is pretty big. But I keep getting my horses caught in the sides of the portal, so I don't take my horse into the Nether very often. Fortunately, someone put a nice little hitching post there. Hey! What are you doing yelling at me? You better calm down, mister. Show some respect. I got my eyes on you. Peace out. Anyway, if we head over to the Guardian farm, we got some business to take over there. You see, a lot of people like whoa, that's loud. That's very loud. Let's get away from that. For some reason, I feel like everything is loud, and this just might be my volumes up on my headset. But a lot of people, I got some good feedback on the Guardian Farm episodes that I posted recently. But a lot of people had questions about, oh, by the way, I kept getting gas spawning in here. These slabs in the ceiling were put in as a way to keep the gas out without cluttering up the floor. But gas were still spawning in here. I'm told that this will keep gas from spawning as long as you don't have space big enough on the floor for a gas to spawn. I think that actually is a big enough space. Eventually, this whole area will be full with dark oak trees. So that will keep gas from spawning. But until then, I got to do something to keep them out of this area because they kind of wreak havoc. They've spawned in on multiple occasions. So I kind of think this area, I think it might be big enough for gas. I'm not sure. Maybe it isn't. I always thought if it was, that would be funny to come in and see a gas in it. Man, this is loud. It just feels loud, and it is a little louder than I normally have volume for recording. Ooh, let me jump through. Okay, once a world forms itself around me here, you can kind of see where the farm and how it is right now. Not a whole lot has changed since that last episode. Basically, I got everything working, and then I have been working a bit in here to kind of neutralize some of the slime spawns and to start getting kind of a visual aspect forming in here. Some things are not quite working the way I thought. For example, I thought I could get grass growing in there, like with these lanterns. I thought that would light it up enough that grass would grow. After all, it grows in the nether. Because I know grass doesn't grow in dark if the light level is below a certain level. I don't need this. Let's toss that back in there. There you go. If it's under a certain level, it doesn't spawn. But apparently this, even with the lanterns, just because it's not open to the sky and you got water on it, this is just not growing in. So I'm thinking I might end up taking up all those grass blocks and putting in green wool maybe, because I do want it to look. I want it to look like there's grass under there. But right now I got grass and some mud. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll leave it natural, all natural. I'm going to take up this stone and put grass there. Just overlooked that at the time. And I'm working on that. Also, what I need to do in addition to that is going ahead and take out this other wall. And that's a big thing I was going to do. I was going to put in the second aquarium first, but I get a lot of people asking questions about how did I do that? And it's actually, at the time, I was thinking, maybe everybody's seen this before, but apparently not. And some people are kind of wondering, because there is a bit of a trick to it. With the current way Minecraft works, you can't just take out water and then just have it just kind of falling into a hole. You used to be able to do that. But with Minecraft now, the way it works now is, if I were to take out all the water here, then take down all these walls, this whole thing would fill back up with water. And let's see, let me see if I can put together a quick demonstration of what I am talking about. Okay, so this little contraption, this little thing I put together here kind of demonstrates what would happen if I were to take down all of these walls. Behind here, I have water blocks. These are all water source blocks. So this is a completely filled in and still water environment, kind of like the ocean that's surrounding my little guardian farm here. Now, if I were to just start taking down these blocks of sand, the same way that I am taking down these blocks of stone, like this. Now, so far, you kind of see all the water is starting to come in. I take down these last few blocks. Not only does water come in, but it all fills up and everything becomes a water source block. That's because over here in this corner, when you have, anytime you have two water source blocks and space in between them that water can fill, that water will fill and become a new source block. So then I had each one of these where they intersected here initially, that became a source block. So now this source block and this source block went together and made this a source block. And this a source block, and so on and so forth, not just on the bottom level, but on the top level as well. Source block, right here becomes a new source block, all the way out until the whole area is filled. And that is what would happen if I were to just take down all these sand walls. Now, what I did in order to keep that from happening is put something here in the middle, or basically something here, a solid block, to keep water from flowing into there. That way, this block and this block cannot come together and make a source block. And that is how this works. If you notice over here, framing the sides of that, I have solid block there and solid block there. And that is what keeps this from filling in. Now, what then causes this to be a nice, clean front? Well, if you watch Zisto's videos, he's accomplished this by going out and clearing the space behind. If I look, well, I can't look through there, turn completely dark. I should have brought me some night vision and some water breathing. And I will get that in a moment. Matter of fact, let me just go and grab it. Okay, I'm back with my potions of water breathing and night vision. And so with that, you can now see what's going on out here. Over here, when I first took down these walls, this was already very clean. And the reason is there's nothing but water source blocks behind it. So the water source blocks fill everything in until it gets to this point where it can't create more water source blocks because I got this solid block here and no other water source blocks that could be combined to make additional water source blocks. So it ends, and it does come out a little bit where actually this first column here is all flowing water, not necessarily water source blocks. But behind it, because of the water source blocks, that's all very solid. Now I did run into a problem over here where this was messy because I don't have a lot, not all of this behind it is water source blocks, because that little clump of stone actually came all the way up here, and you can see where this was actually stone that came into this area here that I cleared out just to make a flat floor. So this isn't these aren't water source blocks. Those are actually flowing water blocks, which didn't come all the way out and fill this up. So this was really jagged and messy. Now in Zisto's design, he actually cleared it out and made it flat all the way out. I don't know exactly how far, in order to recreate this kind of source block backing the flowing water. I found a shortcut. If I fly right up here, you can kind of see the difference right here to over here. That's because in order to get my face to be clean, I came in here and placed additional water source blocks. Matter of fact, if I go and grab my bucket, I could probably clean this up a little bit right now. Grab a source block from out here and place it right there. And you see how that kind of fills that in a little bit. If I place it there, and what I'm doing is I'm placing it right against this block here. Oops. Oh, found a place where that wasn't a source block. Oh, no, it filled in. Okay. And if I place this probably right there. Nope. How about right there? There we go. And see how that cleans that up a little bit? Because I am creating the source block that's creating that flowing water to come down. And that cleans that space up. I'm not sure exactly what I need to do here. Probably if I place a block right there. And now it's all nice and uniform. And so that creates this this uniform wall of flowing water here without having to clear away all the space behind it, because that gets kind of time consuming. And I'm not sure exactly how far you have to go. I did some clearing over here, but then when I got looking to what I'm going to need to do over here, and that's just not doable. I'm not going to clear this out to the point where basically I'm taking out that island, because that's where my horses are. I can't do that. So I came up with this kind of shortcut method, and I'm now going to apply it by taking out these walls. And I'm also going to show you a little bit of how to kind of shore this up to make sure it just doesn't take over your space by accident. Let's get working on that. I gotta put some tools together and get some prep work done. Okay, so here's why this video took so long to release. I actually recorded this many weeks ago, but at this portion where I'm explaining how the water walls work and whatnot, I lost my narration. So here I am going after the fact, and this work's already been completed, and I'll just kind of give you an overview of the steps I took to put in these walls. Basically, what I'm doing at this point is I'm going through and setting up a lip at the very top. This is to frame the walls in. I am placing nether brick at sea level near the top. Now, you could do this I would always do this step just to get that nice clean lip like I explained just a moment ago. But if you don't want this lip at the top, for example, Zisto's build, he doesn't have an upper lip at the top of this waterfall. You can put in the lip, Put in your source blocks to get that nice flowing smooth wall, and then just take out this lip and it should be okay as long as you have those blocks in the corner. Then once I got the initial lip or frame or whatever you want to call it in place, I went and put some half slabs on the top just to keep mobs from spawning there. Now at this point I need a quick way to remove all these columns of sand. And normally in a desert you would use a torch to do this, but a torch would be instantly pulled back up by the water. So you can't use a torch to do that job. Instead, you have to use something that won't be removed by water, like half slabs. So it's a pretty easy process, just like you do with torches in the desert. Go through and remove the bottom block of sand, replace that very quickly with your half slab, and then all the columns of sand on top will fall on top of that half slab, and your wall will be removed. And if you do it quickly enough, if you do it kind of slowly, you might get some things like I have here where I have these columns of water coming out because I've removed just like that bottom block like there and did not remove a block up top. That can be cleaned up and fixed. The initial thing is just to get this column of sand out of the way. Now you can see what it looks like with both those two walls removed. I also went on ahead and put in the other aquarium, and you can see just right now with both aquariums in and fully operational, I'm getting a great drop rate on these guardians. Once again, you don't have to have a huge aquarium that fills up the whole space in order to get a good drop rate, because what's more important is that the guardians flow into a kill zone and are dispatched quickly, because Minecraft will replenish those guardians as soon as they die. So you want to keep them moving through. You don't even need a huge aquarium to do that. Now over here, you can see where I still have a little bit left from when I was removing those blocks early on and got things a little messy there. That's pretty easy to clean up. You just go up and use the sponges to remove the source blocks that are protruding out from the other blocks, creating that messy water wall there. And once you do that, it becomes a nice clean face. And I just basically repeated that same action on the other two sides so that you get something all the way around. So this has been a long project from start to finish. About 8 months now I've been working on this. And this video alone, I actually started about 4 months ago, I think. And it's just been a tough year for me and my channel trying to get videos out. However, this is the finished product. You see the aquariums I got over there, and the flow. Look at that flow. Look at that flow. They're all coming down. It works very well, especially in the daytime. At nighttime, I definitely do need to light up that island a little more to keep some mobs from spawning over there. But during the daytime, my spawn rates from these aquariums is pretty high. Yes, I do have some guardians that are kind of just hanging out in the aquarium, but that has not hurt my drop rates. Not by a much, anyway. Put some trees in here, planted some grass. I might do some little more with it because there's places where the grass just isn't spreading, where I had blocks on top of that before when I put the water in, because I did the water in stages, and the grass is just not spreading to those blocks. Other places where just because it's under the aquariums and things, it's just kind of looking a little muddy. So I don't know, I might put in some podzol or something to just kind of make that a little more natural looking. But anyway, it works. It works. It works. A little bit of a frame rate drop when I'm over here because I have a bunch of hoppers underneath there and a machine to spit them out over this way. I have another version of that machine. It's basically the same thing down here that's pointed upward to shoot them up through this glass elevator to the top. And then I have another one of those over there because I have a little guy going around the edges hoovering up the little ink sacs and dropping them off over there. And then they get shot through a water tunnel that comes over here as well and gets caught up in there too. So then I got this little sorter system, and this is based on the system I got. I saw Zisto and Mumbo Jumbo and a few other guys using similar systems Mine isn't an exact copy of any one of those, but it works pretty darn well. And I may do another video about my version of this, but you can find a sorter pretty much anywhere, kind of like that, basically the same thing. And so it all works. The rates are good, the drops are good, they go to the right places. I could stand here, like that stack happened just since I've been here prepping to record this video. By the way, one of the reasons why this video has been so long coming out is I've been having a ton of trouble with my microphone and my recording stuff, so I apologize if the sound quality of this is not that great or is less than what it should be. I actually made some adjustments that I thought would improve my sound settings instead I totally screwed them up. But anyway, I am going to try ink sacks. Yay, I'm going to take those out and make sure to put those in my shop later. And my shop is pretty well stocked, but ink sacks a little bit goes a long way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this series of videos on this Guardian farm. I hope it gives you some ideas. I really tried to go a little bit different than a lot of the Guardian Farms designs that I've seen, and I think this one is really efficient with the 9 lava source blocks in the middle. That's all it takes for this whole thing is 9 lava source blocks to kill those guys, and it's very efficient. So I like it. Anyway, please give me a like, subscribe, because those things help me know how much you appreciate. Life gets in the way, but whenever I see that I got new subscribers, and every time someone tweets or comments, that just motivates me more to come back and try to get some sort of video in. Sunsetting, oh, how appropriate. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and as always, I'll play you again later. Bye.